Hello and welcome back to another episode of Just Jordan Things. Today we're going to be talking about breast pumps again, because MomCozy in my last video saw that I have the Spectra wall pump and sent me this to do a direct comparison of the two. This is the MomCozy V1 Pro breast pump, and we're going to be doing a comprehensive opinion-based breakdown of the comparison of these two. I say opinion-based because here's all the stats on each pump. Hospital grade suction, battery capacity, modes, all of it's based on preference. And while most pumps are just going to get the job done, the only real difference between them is going to be how you feel using them and how they work for your lifestyle. So that being said, let's get into it. And yes, MomCozy did send me this for free for a review, but this is going to be my honest opinion because that's all I give on this channel. Now, first things first, let's talk about how to get a breast pump, because this is the most important thing. You can get a breast pump through insurance. Your doctor will write you a prescription for it, and then you submit that to your insurance to select which one that you want. You can also do this through Babylist, which they will handle all of the paperwork for you and even contact your doctor and then submit it to insurance, and then voila, a pump and a bunch of bags end up at your door. You just have to pick which one you want, which honestly sometimes is the hardest part, because when you're pregnant, you have no idea which one you should get. I didn't, which is why I ended up with this. Now there's two different versions of the Spectra. There's a pink one and a blue one. I picked the pink one because I didn't know any better, because the pink one is a wall stationary pump, which means it has to be plugged in for it to work. No battery, which is fine. But the blue one is portable. So it does have a battery and you can move it around. Looking at the MomCozy V1, this is portable and you can move around with it. So that's going to be the biggest difference between the one I have and this, but the blue Spectra also does the same thing. I don't know about the battery life because, again, that's going to depend on how often you're using it, how often you're charging it, and what suction level you're using it for. So again, all of that's going to vary, but the important thing is to understand, does this work while it's being charged? Because you bet your girl is going to forget to charge it and need to plug it in. So that's the first thing we're going to test. Does it work while the battery is dead and plugged into the wall? Okay, first I need to open this thing though. Don't wake the baby. First things first, opening the box, I've noticed that all MomCozy breast pumps come with different flange sizes, which is really important because the standard flange size that comes with the Spectra is the 24 and 28. I'm a 21, and if I didn't know that beforehand, I wouldn't have known that I needed to size down, and I would have ended up hurting myself and it would have been really uncomfortable to pump. So make sure that you're sizing your nipples if you're pumping. And with the Spectra, you have to buy a separate sizing kit. With the MomCozy, it comes with one. That was the same for the other pump that I got from them as well, which I really appreciate. Here are the instructions and the sizer. Oh my gosh. All right, here she is. This is our suction mechanism. Oh, okay. This is actually something that I was questioning. How does it charge? Because the Spectra, you have to have a specific plug for it. It's that 12 volt DC, yada, 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 like the little tubey one, which means I can't just go and plug this in another place in my house without bringing all of the apparatus. And this is charged by the new USB-C, which means that I can charge it with any of the chargers in my house and I don't have to remember the one place it's plugged into the wall. That's actually super helpful for me because I have ADHD and I'm losing things constantly. So this is usually in one spot. Do not move it. It stays there. I have to go to it to pump. This I can pump anywhere in the bedroom, in the living room, upstairs in my office. All of those places have this charger that I can use it. All right. Oh, it's not dead. Okay. I thought it came dead. It didn't come dead. It comes fully charged. We'll get to that. All right. Next up we have, charging cable. Cool. Here are the pump attachments. So the first thing I'm noticing, we have one like inlet outlet, which means you probably have to be wearing both at the same time to pump. I'm sure in the instructions, I'm going to find out that you can like take one and like squeeze something so that you don't have to be wearing both to get the suction. But that's something to note, because with the Spectra, you have both of these tubes here. You can take one tube out and block the little thingy. Oh, I don't want to do it right now because it's really hard to undo. But then you only have to pump on one side. So you don't have to pump both sides at the same time with the Spectra. I'm sure there's a way. Keep the tubing dry. Okay, so don't wash the tubing. Gotcha. Sorry, my little manual here. Do not use the device if you have a cardiac pacemaker implant. Let's see here. Operating and disinfecting. Yes, we need to put it in there. Oh, okay. Yes, boil. Yes, measure your nipple. All the things. Assembling the pump. We're not there yet. Connect the long end tubing to the motor pump. Oh, wait, is there other tubing? Oh, well now. I spoke too soon. It comes with a single pump tubing. If y'all want to do one side, you plug this in instead of the double one. And this whole apparatus comes off. Maybe, oh, like that. So it goes on like this. No, it goes on like this. There's two little holes here at the top and at the bottom. And then there's pins here that keep it on. And then it clicks in. And now we can do single boob tube, single boob pumping. Interesting. Okay, here is, I'm getting ahead of myself. So we're going to test this. But if you have the Spectra or if you have used the Spectra, you know that these things can be quite frustrating, quite annoying, if you will. This is the suction pump apparatus for the Spectra. It goes on the small one, the rubber thing, and then this one, and then on here, and then it plugs into the, hold please, into the this. This is the milk capture device for the Spectra. Now, I don't know if anyone else has experienced this, but I get what my husband likes to call squeaky boob syndrome when this thing is kind of like loose, and sometimes this pops off in the middle of me pumping. Not often, but it has happened. And then this, if you don't reattach, it's covered in hair right now. Gross. I need to wash this again. But if there is some like loose suction somewhere in this, it starts to get like squeaky and won't suction to your boob properly, and you have to like finagle it. That happens to me quite some time. It's hard to get the right placement with this and squeaky boob. Again, it works. Preference. This is all preference, right? None of this is definitively like, oh, this is better than this one or this one's better than, it's all just what you prefer. I do like that this is in there and clicks in, and it looks like it's a lot less parts to take apart and disassemble every single time to wash. And the flange here has a rubber coating on the outside, which probably will help the suction level. I will try this towards the end of this video after I wash it. I still have to wash it and sterilize it. And we'll do a comparison of how comfortable they are. But this one is all plastic. Now, this is not the flange that came with the Spectra. I had to order a new one. So there are replacement flange sizes that you can get for the Spectra. I believe there's also silicone ones that you can get, but they don't come standard. Also, this little duckbill here, remember that for a second because I didn't see one on here. Oh, yes, I did. Okay, it's just deeper in there. Where's the duck? There's the duckbill. I feel like that's the most standard thing on pumps is this little duck part. Interesting. The next noticeable difference that I'm seeing is this max capacity here goes to 7. The standard Spectra bottle goes to 5. For some people, that's not an issue. They're only pumping 2-3 ounces. For me, I'm starting to get to the top of 5. So having the extra 7, probably a little helpful. This might be a little more difficult to see while it's on though, versus this. This I can look down and it's like, okay, you know, I can tell that it's getting towards the top. This one is probably gonna be similar to the portable MomCozy one, where I have to like look in a mirror or crane my neck, but it's clear all the way to the top, so it might be easier. We'll test that out. I'm also probably getting way too ahead of myself. I'm gonna pump like 1 ounce and be like, oh no, we're gonna get it full. Hello? Oh, is that comfortable? Would you like to turn the other way? Would you like to turn your head? Let's turn our head. There we go. Got it. Okay, so noting the flange size, this is a standard 24 flange size, and you have to put an insert in here to get it to be a smaller size. So here's the 21 millimeter flange that comes with it. This is now just another piece to make sure that you're disassembling and washing every single time. I do it with my portable pump, so it's not that big of a deal. And I did it with my Spectra beforehand. There are these that you can just buy if you don't want to buy the entire larger, smaller flange size. Where'd you go? There you are. And then this just pops right in here. I do like the fact that this comes with the actual pump because that means that the fit is better. I've noticed that the ones that I buy from Amazon that are just generic and a different brand sometimes can fit a little bit wonky in the Spectra, which is why I ended up just getting the actual size that fit because it was really weird getting them in there and they were thicker and it was just a whole problem the entire time. So there's that. Now, let's take apart this, put it in my bottle washer and see how many parts comparatively each one has to wash, and also how much room it takes up in the bottle washer, because that's another factor. Oh no, I have to empty it first. Hold please. Okay, it's empty. Let's put things inside. Let's take this part off. Whoop. Oh God. Let's undo this. Is that the only 2 parts that come apart? Okay, that's nice. Stick this right there. That's 2 parts in here. It does take up a significant amount of room, but only having 3 parts that need to go in the washer is nice. Compared to the Spectra, it's only 3 parts, but this little thing, when it's wet, getting it off, really annoying. Oop. Oh God, now it's on the floor and now it's dirty, but takes up less space. Okay, honestly, not that big of a difference, but are we going to be able to get both of them in there? Ooh, hang on, I forgot about the covers. These should probably go in there as well. These are the covers that sit on it afterwards, so we're just gonna stick those right in there. And we don't actually need to wash this one right now because it's already clean. I think this one I feel like might be a dishwasher clean for me more frequently, just because this does take up quite a bit of space, and it's a full load in here. I'll put this on the top. Okay, the other flange. Is that it? Oh, it does come with a replacement duct valve if you need it. I don't know how long before those wear out. I've used my Spectra for 6 weeks now, and we're still running strong. So now I do want to talk about, this is the perfect time for me to test this right now because I usually only exclusively breastfeed, except for the couple times a day where I make a bottle so that dad can feed him while I sleep. But right now I have something wrong with my boobs and they hurt. So I'm pumping and feeding him bottles all the time, just so that I don't, injure myself more or hate the experience of breastfeeding. And it's a Sunday and my doctor's office isn't open. So we're bottle feeding for now, which is why it's a great opportunity to test these pumps. And I know there's a lot of people that have trouble breastfeeding or again, have to go back to work and can't breastfeed as much as they would like. There's 1,000 different reasons why people pick a pump. None of them are wrong. All forms of feeding your baby are valid. The most important part is the baby is eating, gaining weight, right? At the end of the day, we care about happy, healthy babies. And to have a happy, healthy baby, you need to have a happy, healthy mom as well. Now, I'm gonna let this wash. By the time it's done, it's probably gonna be time to pump. And then we will come back and see a review afterwards of how comfortable they are and the comparison of the two actually being in use. All right, we're in my bedroom and we're currently pumping, which I don't know if you could hear it because it is really quiet. That's the first thing I noticed about this. Listen, the Spectra, way louder, which not really a problem if I'm in my own home, but if I'm out somewhere and want to be more discreet, I don't know, this is just really nice. Would be a lot easier to take places with me than the Spectra pump. So the size comparison of the actual pump itself, significant. The size of the cup thingies, flanges, collection devices. That's probably it. For those of you that don't know, the Spectra, you have to have like some sort of special bra to put in the hole of the bra and then suction it on so it's hands-free. This just fits in a regular bra, which I really, really, really like because I can't tell you how many times I've been sitting there with my Spectra just holding both or like trying to prop it up on my knees and massage or do something else. This, I can lean forward, I can lean backwards, and that's something you can't really do with the Spectra. You have to be tilted forward to be able to get the milk to drop down into the collection cups, whereas this you have a lot more range, which is super, super helpful and really beneficial for anyone who doesn't want to be sitting upright or leaning forward half the time with bad posture trying to pump. So the display goes in rest mode, I guess, when it's working. And then to unlock it, it goes, you have to push the power button again, which I was afraid of because I was like, am I going to turn it off halfway through? No. So it locks and unlocks while you're using it so that the settings don't change if you set it down because it is all touchscreen here. And then it has different modes. So there is high, medium, and low for, I think, the speed rate. Not entirely sure. Still got to play around with what all those modes do. And then this is the switching the mode. So for all of you that use Spectra, we use bacon mode and then regular mode. This goes back and forth and has a few different cycles than the Spectra, which I do like because I go back and forth between like stimulation, which is what bacon mode is, and regular pumping. And I like a cycle that can go back and forth more frequently. So I'll do 2 minutes stimulation, 4 minutes regular pumping, and then go back to 2 minute stimulation and kind of like switch back and forth depending on what my pump supply is looking for. So having a mode that automatically goes back and forth between stimulation and regular pumping is something that I actually really like about the MomCozy products. The other pump I have also does that. We have the timer and then we have the level here. So I usually pump on a level 5 for MomCozy products. That's just the level that I found is comfortable. I've said this before, it's not more pain, more gain. You're not going to get more milk out because you went on a higher suction level. It's just about what is comfortable for you. So don't be increasing this so much that it's uncomfortable and painful and you feel like you have to suffer through it. That is not what breastfeeding should be about. There's also a pause play button. Sure, okay. And then the adjust the time. If you don't want to do the full 30 minutes, it automatically stops after 30 minutes. I don't know why that's a standard. I only pump for like 12, 15 minutes max. I wonder if there is a way to do, like, this is a countdown. I like seeing my time elapsed versus the countdown, because then I got to do math of like how long have I been pumping? 8 minutes. See how long? I don't like that. That's not. But so far, I'm a really big fan of this compared to the Spectra, and I do feel like I'm going to be using it more often just because of the simple fact that I can do it here laying in bed, and it's a lot quieter than the other pumps that I have. So when my husband is sleeping here and I have to be pumping at 3 a.m. in the morning, I can just do this very quietly versus waking him up with the full apparatus of the pump and the frustration of trying to get the things to stay on and all of the above. I don't know what this, I feel like, is going to come in handy once I figure out where I want to hook it. If I need to be walking around doing things, I can be cooking dinner while pumping, I can be going on a walk while pumping. All of that is really, really handy. I will say, I can't tell you how many times I have sat down to pump. Halfway through pumping, I realize I have to go to the bathroom urgently. I know it would be gross to bring a pump into the bathroom, but when you gotta go, you gotta go. If you just tuck everything under your shirt, it's fine. Don't judge me. We've all done it. Or if you have a wall plug and pump, maybe you haven't because you couldn't. But definitely being able to walk up and be mobile while you're pumping versus being stationary in one spot. Again, some people like the moment of calm and peace and forcing them to sit there and not be able to do anything else. Some people like to be able to get up and walk around and do other things while they're pumping. So whatever it is for you, if you like that excuse to not move for the amount of time that you're pumping and maybe use those as your mindful moments to be able to collect yourself, I am all for that. But to each their own, and everybody has their own needs for what they need to be doing while they're pumping. How much time? Let's see if I can get this to go the other way around. Just like holding different buttons. No? Okay. There's still lots of different settings that I want to play around with this on and see what level I like. But the main benefit of being able to wear any bra and not specifically a nursing pumping bra is a huge win for this versus the Spectra. I also feel like traveling with this would be really, really easy. Volume wise, between the size of the cups and the pump itself, they might take up the same space as the Spectra with the collection cups, but I feel like this is a little more portable, just a little more user friendly on the go, especially because this is really easy to pull in, pull out, store up tightly, whereas the Spectra takes a little more work to put together. Again, if you're leaving it in one spot, not a big deal, but if you ever have to go anywhere with it, I feel like this is a little better for travel. I do want to see, we're going to test if it still works while being plugged in. That was the first thing I said, and it does in fact work while charging. Really beneficial, super helpful. Feel like that's a necessary mode that needs to be enabled. Great. It does also have these like ridges on the back that are silicone. So when it's vibrating and pumping, it can sit on a flat surface and not fall. I have dropped my Spectra. Don't tell anybody. I bumped it off the corner of the couch. It happened in the middle of the night. Yes, it was very loud. No, it didn't wake the baby up. So, and the machine's fine. But this, a lot harder to knock off of things. One, because it's a lot smaller. You can take it with you places and probably attach it to. I feel like if I get a little carabiner, I can just kind of like attach it to a belt loop. I might do that. I've also talked about going on walks while pumping or doing something, you know, like, again, the portability of this, super helpful. The Spectra does its job really good, but being able to have the same level of suction and do the same job more efficiently in the smaller package, I like it. I'm a fan. Now, last thing, let's talk about the price. I did say you can get it through insurance, but if you are paying for a pump on your own, let's do a breakdown of the prices between the two, because I know, full transparency, we need to understand what is the best option for us financially as well. So here's the Spectra price, and here is the V1 MomCozy price. Again, no judgment for whichever one works for you, and if neither of these work for you and you have other suggestions, please let us all know in the comments. This is a new journey for me, and I love being able to share it with you, but I also love hearing advice and recommendations, because this moment in time that we have goes so fast, and we just kind of get in these routines of what we know and what we've been introduced to. And there could be tips and hints and tricks that you're never exposed to, that 5 years down the line, you're like, oh my gosh, I wish I would have known that when I started my pumping breastfeeding journey. So I encourage people in the comments to discuss what you like, what you don't like, and help each other out, because that's what a mom community is about. Supporting each other, in however we can. I'm Jordan. This is just Jordan Things, and you're going to be seeing a lot more MomCozy products on my page. One, because I love them, but two, hopefully because they send me more stuff. Like I said before, I've bought so many MomCozy products for myself before they ever sent me anything, but they literally have everything to get you through the newborn and baby stage. So I will be sharing more. They will be linked in this video and in the description if you'd like to get them for yourselves. And I will see you next time. Thank you for liking and subscribing. I'm Jordan. Are we done yet? Oh wait, let's see how much milk we collected. We got about 3 ounces on this side. That's pretty good. And then you pour it out from the top, not take the whole thing apart with the milk. It's got a little spout. Don't take it apart and try to pour the milk from the big part. That's how we waste milk. What's going on in there? It looks like it's gonna spill, but it's not gonna spill. Technology is amazing.